everyone, Zeddy here again today with another Festival Legends card review. Yes, I am doing a video just for the rogue stuff because am I mad? Am I yelling, as some people like to say, because rogue got even more broken cards? I don't think so. We're going to talk about that. I'm giving away as well 2 regular pre-orders, 3 mega bundles out of my pocket. All you have to do to enter is like and comment in the video description below. Again, we are really close to 66K. Every 1,000 subs, I'm adding another mega bundle to the giveaway. So hit that sub button, make me go broke. So I've been pretty against the rogue stuff with Shadow Step staying in the core set. A lot of these bounce cards, the legendary spell that cheats a bunch of mana. What more broken stuff is rogue getting? Could they possibly get a bad card? Well, I guess we should actually look at the cards. And first, we're going to drop the mic on this situation. We have mic drop. By the way, these were all revealed over on Tice's YouTube channel. He did one of Tice's raps, so check that out if you haven't already. It's the perfect level of rap in cringe. You know, you got to get that, and it works out pretty well. Anyways, we have mic drop, not Arcane Intellect. You draw 2 cards, so 3 mana draw 2. It's just like Arcane Intellect. However, finale, so you spent all of your mana on this card. You have 3 mana left, you play mic drop, or you discount it somehow. The mana matches up, you will buff your weapon. You get a free deadly poison, which is about like a 4 mana value for 3 mana, but you got a finale, you got to have a weapon up. It's fine, like it's okay, but rogue, like if rogue wants card draw, they already have like infinite, especially like the concoctions, drawing like 4 cards for 0 mana, things like that. I feel like they're not lacking on card draw, and for a rogue, even though they could buff their weapon, like you're only really running this card if you want to buff a weapon, and currently there's not a weapon I can think of you really want to buff. The only weapon revealed so far this expansion that I can recall is the one that refreshes your mana. It refreshes your mana for every combo card you played, right? You don't really want to buff that with attack per se. You could, and like smash them and then break it and refresh mana. I guess that could work out, but typically weapon cards really have to be super synergistic, really work well together. I don't see that happening. Again, it's not a bad card. This is Arcane Intellect with potential upside, but in a class like Rogue that draws so well and doesn't really have that problem, I feel like it's got to be really weapon centric, and I don't see that right now. So gonna give it a 2 out of 5 in standard, 2 out of 5 in wild. Like you play Kingsbane in Pirate Rogue, I guess, and all that, but you already have Cutting Class, which is 0 mana draw 2. You know, like you just don't really need to buff your weapon, and it's just, yeah, too expensive. You have Secret Passage, things like that in wild. I don't see it making the cut. So overall, first card, I'm not raging, I'm not losing my mind until, you know, expansion day comes and they play the card, and well, you know me, somebody plays a card, I'm not happy about it. Why can't they just pass? Let me win. Next, we have the Harmonic Hip Hop. It's one of these flipping cards. It is 2 mana Shadow Spell, so we got Shadow Synergy. If you got Shadow Spell Synergy somehow, whatever. Deal 1 damage. Well, that's terrible. Can go face, though. Amplifies with spell damage and all that. Give your weapon +3 attack. That's similar to like Oil. Oil used to give 3 attack. But yeah, it also swaps each turn. So what happens? It'll deal 3 damage or give your weapon +1 attack. So deal 3 damage for, you know, for 2 mana. It's fine. We've seen that's like the normal, and then +1 attack for your weapon sucks. It's just a mid card. Like, I don't see this as, I see this as a card you're only really going to run most likely in a weapon deck. I think the weapon buff is way more valuable than dealing 3 damage, especially in Rogue, where you have like with the bone card. I can never remember its name. The one where if it kills something, you discount your next card by 2. You can prep out whatever. It deals 3 damage to a minion. Can't go face, but regardless, I don't see it. Eviscerate's back in the core set, so like that's a better burn option at 2 unless you want to run more. It really has to be, am I buffing my weapon up? And again, I currently don't see that as a strategy. You can even say like Necrolord Draka, and then I buff it after, but like you're playing Draka, you're probably killing your opponent anyways with the gigantic weapon. And the legendary we're going to take a look at in a second here, I don't think that's really a weapon you're super interested in buffing. So overall, again, I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 in standard, 2 out of 5 in wild. And wild, again, you have like Kingsbane, you have really good weapons, but I just don't think this strategy has been valid there for a very long time. Maybe Cutlass, like Thief Rogue enjoyers will enjoy it. You know, the I can't remember what it's called. It's the 4-mana lifesteal weapon. Every time you play a burgle card, you gain durability. You'd probably like some more buffs on that. But at the end of the day, you're getting like +1 attack extra than a deadly poison for 1 mana. It just doesn't seem all that worth it. And lastly, we have the return, the grand return of the GVG neutral legendary BLINGTRON. This time he's an MC. He's got the same stats as before, which were terrible. It's a 5-mana 3/4 mech in Iron Sensei synergy and wild. You can play that and buff it at the end of your turn. I'm reaching here. Battle Cry. Both players equip 1/2 microphones. Your opponents increases all damage they take by 1. So basically, you get a golden microphone, which is like, you know, reminiscent of the old BLINGTRON. It was golden. It better be golden in game, because old BLINGTRON, you played him, he would always equip golden weapons, right? And then he'll also equip, your opponent gets a broken microphone. And it's like they're holding a void touch attendant, right? The priest minion that always does 1 extra face damage. So they have that. You can play this, you can hit them a bunch, they take a bunch of damage, they swing, next turn you hit them a bunch, they take a bunch of extra damage, and then they swing again and it's gone, unless they can equip another weapon, right? Like they're a weapon class, they can equip it. If they're playing rogue, they can just hero power, but they gotta spend the mana doing that. So you do give them a weapon that they can get utility out of, but they're taking a bunch of extra damage. And if you're playing like an aggro-ish tokenish deck, that stacks really quickly. We saw that with Shadow Priest, but Void Touch Attendant was 1 mana. This is a legendary, a 1 of, and you really want to be in an advantageous position when you play it. And you know, it's a 5-mana 3/4. It's hard to keep that advantageous position after you do this, right? It can be difficult. You can also combo it up with some burn. We saw the burn earlier, where all of a sudden that 3 damage does 4, your eviscerate does 5, all that type of stuff, right? So you could try and do some OTK shenanigans, but 1 extra damage is not a ton, right? It's not a ton. And just so you're aware, your opponent's increased by damage by 1 is not attached to this minion. It is attached to the weapon, so you can kill this. You're still going to take that extra damage. Again, I don't know if this is that good. It's really annoying though. Like it can be effective. I think it's definitely the strongest probably these 3 cards, but again, it's really it depends on the deck. I feel like it's got to be a flood deck. Maybe an odd rogue in wild could use this, because you know they're playing that style of strategy. Maybe even a Kingsbane, or not Kingsbane, the pirate rogue in wild, because like ship's cannon, patches, all those tokens, especially with the new pirate that summons a 1/1 every time you attack, all that chip damage really stacks up. But it's 5 mana, and that deck like caps out typically at like 3 outside of like Mr. Smite. All the other cards you're cheating out, like Dread Corsair, Cutting Class. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 in standard. I think it has a shot. Not a great one, but a shot, just for that annoying minion that pushes that extra damage. But it really has to be a deck that we're not seeing right now. Like, it's not going in Miracle. It's not going in, well, Thieves kind of might die out without Contraband Stash and Reconnaissance. We'll see. But regardless, I'm going to give it a 3. I think it has a small chance. It's really annoying. In Wild, probably a 2, where the things I propose just don't seem worth it. But yeah, the rogue card's not really pissing me off this time. How about that? Not yelling, not losing my mind. So that's the rogue reveal. There's a druid one later. Rarn will be revealing it. I might do another video just on that, or maybe I'll just save it for tomorrow. But I had to get my rogue thoughts out there because you guys want to know, is Zeddy losing his mind over new rogue cards? It's like the new thing these days. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Enter that giveaway. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.